Hey traders, this is CN Trader here. I thought I'd just take this opportunity here to um, do some analysis on the pound to Aussie. And this is kind of nice because we see some things that are taking place right now that can potentially give us some really nice opportunities. But here we have a weekly chart, and I've gone ahead and I've marked some of the main areas on a weekly chart that we want to pay attention to, areas that were respected. Support, resistance, supply, demand, all that good stuff. Many of you know how I feel about that stuff anyway, but you can see we got this nice little area that you can see battles have been fought here. And we see we came up here and quickly came down underneath, tested this area, came back up to this area, and you could see we had a little battle in here. Again, retested, came out. We came down to this area right here on a weekly, and then broke through, came down to this spot, came up, gapped up, and it just took off. All right, and did show some respect to these levels here. And so you see that this important level is here again. We're here. We closed above the level, and you can see last time we came up this level, quickly sold off, came down below, we came right back up, closed above it, and now it's kind of testing. And if we look left, you could see kind of this area right here, and this area right here, and this area right here. So that's what we're looking at on a weekly chart. We have plenty of room to the upside if this breakout goes ahead and does what it's supposed to do. But if it's a false breakout, we have some other things that are taking place that we'll want to pay attention to. So how can we take advantage of this situation that's happening right now? Well, if we go ahead and scroll down to a daily, we can see that there's some things that are potentially developing. And we see that we've broken out of this area here and here. And we're kind of just been hanging out above this area. So the question is, are we going to break out to higher levels and keep going? Or are we going to come down to these levels here? And what I found interesting was if we do some analysis, some harmonic analysis, you could see that if I take this measure here to here, from that high to that low, we can see we just barely come up to 786. We can even come right here because we never really closed above it. And then you could see we come up here. So we can actually form a potential butterfly that comes up here. Okay, and you could see that it was respected. I probably would have put a sell zone somewhere in this area here, and you can see it was respected. And if we look left, we could see, if I just go ahead and put a mark there, you can see the battles in this area on a daily. And then you can see this level here, this level here. So this was an important level. So I'm going to go ahead and just erase that because that's something that has taken place. Now I want to also look at what's going on here. If I go ahead and take this swing low to this swing high, you can see we come down into a 50. Now if this area remains respected, I'm watching behavior here, and we'll go down to a lower time frame to look at some other things that are going on there as well. But if this area remains respected, we have a level down here, that's the 886. There's also a 786 here. So one thing we could be mindful of is the potential for a different pattern. If we come up here to a 131, a 127, or a 141, if this breaks out and then comes down, we could be looking at a potential for us to have a shark pattern or the little brother there, the cipher. Okay, so that's something that we'll look for, and this is also a potential for a bat. Now, if we go out to that large time frame, you can see there's a lot of room to the downside as well. And so if we're going to come down into here, we could see it bounce off of this level and come back up and test these levels before coming down even further. And if we measure that, we're going to have some confluence here. So if we look at that swing low to that swing high, right around where that 886 is, you can see we got a 6-1, a 618 right here, right in this level. And that would give us potential for price to come back up, and we would measure the swing high to swing low and maybe come back down into a 786 or an 886, depending. If it stops at this level, would be a 50%, and we come up here and we can end up having a bat pattern that concludes down here. So those are some things that we'll want to be mindful of. We want to pay attention to. Now that's not going to happen tomorrow, right? This is a larger time frame. These are the dailies. This could take some time to develop. A lot of things can happen in between, so we'll want to be watchful of that. But let's go ahead and let's scroll down to a 1 hour time frame. Even if we can even do a 4 hour, really. And you could see the development that's taken place here. We got a potential double top right here. Okay, I'm just going to scroll out a little bit. We're still above this significant level, but what we also have developing here is a head and shoulders pattern on what I call the second leg of a double top, a potential double top, right? That won't be confirmed until it's already developed. But we have a head and shoulders here, and we have the neckline right here. So we're going to be wanting to pay attention to price here. Now again, we have this level that's here. So if we go down to this 1 hour chart, right, and we measure this swing high to this swing low that's taken place in our area, you can see we've come up to a 618. So we can have a potential AB equals CD pattern that develops right into this level here. And if we look left, you can see this little area here. So we can go ahead and draw a potential zone right in here to go ahead and test this level again. Once we break through, we may come up and test. Now, if we break that head and shoulders pattern, we can come down here, and oftentimes you can have the distance between the head and neck as an area where we can go to. And if you look left, you could see all the structure right in here. So that one makes sense. We can come up off of here and potentially come back up and test this all-important level on our weekly. So we're watching behavior right in here. This would be an aggressive C on an AB equals CD pattern if you want to take this into here, right? So I'm watching to see if behavior, I'm watching to see if behavior is going to get me into this trade. And so far it looks good. So we'll see how it develops. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to show you guys. Some things developing on this pound Aussie. We go out to this weekly. We could see we're in these levels and these areas that are important, significant areas that have been respected in the past. And we can use that confluence of things that are taking place to go ahead and make some trading decisions, or at least identify some areas where we can expect things to take place. So stay disciplined, stay patient, commit, and pay attention to your work ethic. Enjoy, have fun, trade your plan, make a great day, do your own due diligence, and may we all make bank. Game changing bank, the kind of bank that makes you just think and grow.